get much-needed bridge. Georgetown Maid City Council, Ministry of Communities aid Ben Street fire victims. Traffic chief calls for responsible driving. In the region, Chilean plane en route to Antarctica disappears with 38 on board. And internationally, South African court orders eviction of refugees living in church. Greetings and welcome to this edition of Headline News Update. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Over the weekend, both City Council and the Ministry of Communities offered assistance to the victims of last Friday's fire on Ben Street. George Gonzalez tells us more.
On the morning of December 6, a major fire on Bench Street left several families homeless. Shortly after the fire, Mayor of Georgetown Pandit Ubraj Narain and several municipal councilors donated a food hamper to Hazel, her only given name. Hazel is a mother of 5 and is among several victims whose homes were destroyed by last Friday's fire. According to Mayor Narain, quote, after learning of the incident and analyzing the situation, the City Council's only option was to pour out its heart to them. Then, on Sunday, Minister within the Ministry of Communities with responsibility for housing, Annette Ferguson, and her team also visited the fire victims to assess their needs.
It is just for us to assess to see exactly what assistance from the Central Housing and Planning Authority that we can render to the affected families.
She told the media that members of her team will be preparing care packages that will include food items, clothing, among other necessities for the affected residents. During the visit, one resident, Crystal Pereira, inquired whether she will be eligible to receive a turnkey home.
Christmas is a time where we all come together as a family, to greet each other, to talk over things and so forth. And, when these situations struck, it is very difficult for one to deal with, right? But just bear with me, let me get some, have a discussion with my team, and then I can get back to you, the families.
Nonetheless, Minister Ferguson said that her team will discuss Pereira's request, among other requests, on Tuesday. Channel 2 Headline News, George Gonzalez.
Thanks, George. Yesterday afternoon, police in Essequibo arrested a man for narcotics possession. 40-year-old Dwayne Gildari of Lima, Essequibo Coast, was driving in Charity Pomeroon Supernam when he was stopped by police. Seconds after, Gildari disposed of a bag through the vehicle's window. The ranks pursued and arrested the driver a short distance away. The bag was retrieved and was discovered to contain 2.5 kilos of suspected cocaine. This morning, Gildari appeared before the Anna Regina Magistrates Court, charged with possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. He pled not guilty and was remanded to prison until January 7, 2020. The Traffic Department of the Guyana Police Force is currently making efforts to reduce the number of road fatalities and congestion. George Gonzalez spoke with the traffic chief and he filed this report.
The Christmas season is typically the busiest time on our nation's roads. As such, the Traffic Department has started a nationwide campaign to reduce the number of fatal accidents. Drunk driving has been identified as a major contributing factor in auto accidents. As such, the GPF will engage in several operations focusing on drunk driving. This includes roadblocks and crisscrossing nightly patrols, especially in hazardous areas. Police will also patrol areas near popular nightclubs for persons suspected of drunk driving. According to Traffic Chief Senior Superintendent Lyndon Isles, the police will not stop there. They are also taking efforts to reduce congestion on the roads, especially in Georgetown.
Are using our crash trucks to tow away vehicle. We are clamping vehicle wheels and taking necessary action because we'll be having policemen ranks working at various points so as to minimize the congestion on our roadways, especially at those major intersections in Georgetown.
The traffic chief also advises citizens to leave the car at home when possible and consider carpooling with family and friends in order to reduce congestion. However, Senior Superintendent Isles recognized that keeping the nation's roadways safe is a job that the police cannot do alone. He encourages persons to take to social media and report errant drivers to the police, as the police do monitor these posts. Additionally, the GPF is considering forming a WhatsApp account for the public to send photos and videos of traffic offenses. Nevertheless, the traffic chief noted that every driver must do their part in making driving safer in Guyana.
I would like to implore drivers to take responsibility. Remember that the life that they may save may be their own. If they have to imbibe, don't drive. If they're using the road, take into consideration other persons using the road at the same time. Use the 5 C's: care, caution, courtesy, common sense, consideration. Be a defensive driver.
Channel 2 Headline News, George Gonzalez.
George, in October, residents of MOCHA Arcadia East Bank Demerara complained of an unfinished access bridge to their community. According to the residents, construction on the bridge inexplicably stopped months ago. Now, Esther Sobers tells us that the construction has since resumed and the residents now enjoy a newly built bridge.
After being affected by the stalled works of an incomplete bridge for several months, the residents of MOCHA Arcadia, East Bank Demerara, can now breathe a sigh of relief. The previous access bridge was deteriorating, so it was dismantled. It was in the process of being rebuilt by the Ministry of Public Infrastructure. However, during the final stages of the construction work was stalled unexpectedly, with no word given about its completion. In October of this year, residents of the community asked Headline News to bring attention to their situation. Today, the residents are singing praises as the construction resumed and was completed last week.
I'm pleased with the bridge because, as for me, it was stalling up my work that I was doing. Selling the papers, it was difficult to get on the other side sometimes to give persons their papers, so I had to leave it over there. When they pass it, just collect. But now that it is complete, I am so thankful.
Headline News spoke to the chairman of the community's NDC. According to the chairman, the Neighborhood Democratic Council intervened on the community's behalf to finish the construction after they were informed by the Ministry of Infrastructure that funds for the bridge were depleted.
We actually made an appeal to the president directly. The NDC would have met with the president, and the president would have intervened. And subsequently, we had Minister Sharma, who is the junior minister, would have visited, and we explained to him the plight what the bridge was causing, because this is one of our main access bridge, and we were forced to use the alternative bridge, which is at Nelson Street, and it actually resulted in the huge trucks that bring in construction material actually using alternative road and actually damaging them.
The residents are grateful for the completion of the bridge. Now they hope that authorities will pay attention to their community roads.
Some other issues was raised concerning some of our roads. Bornham Boulevard in particular, where I'm living, that needs to be fixed. For some time now, we've been appealing for some of our roads to be done. We were given some promises that as soon as it is practically possible, they would be done. The president would have indicated the limitation that the government has had with the no confidence motion, and because it wasn't budgeted for, they actually limited promises that could be kept concerning our roads.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, your regional and international news.
Francois Chocolatier is a lick cake, teasing your taste buds. It's handmade, it's chocolate, it's true, it's healthy, organic, delicious, and nutritious. Have a taste of our chocolates, cakes, and much more in a variety of flavors like never before. Try our peppermint, walnut ginger, coconut rum cream, and pistachio. Only at Mason Chocolatier, 45 Garnet Street, Georgetown. And also indulge in our Saturday and Sunday breakfast, lunch, and afternoon tea only by reservations. Telephone 648-2619. Mason Francois Chocolatier, the best chocolates you ever have.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
Season's greetings from Kisoon's Furniture Store.
It's bigger, it's better, it's back. It's GTT's plus size Christmas promotion. Connect with your friends and loved ones with GTT services to benefit from our biggest ever Christmas bundle of specials and be one of our prize winners. Visit our website or call 227-9444 for more information today.
Big bundles for you. Big bundles for you. Top up a grand, we make a winner out of you. We got a game show for you. Game show for you.
Yes! We must have open to the dog. Yes! Yes! Chicken the curry. And sets on 11, we gonna do it again when they come to
Yes! Come on, hold me. Larry, it makes sense. Say it makes sense. Nicky Cosby, it makes sense. Makes sense. We mash up the place.
Let me tell you something what happened. We made oil down with them. I know they get oil now, but we oil the tail down. Alright? They ain't make it at all. Alright?
Hey. This is nothing bad. I didn't say nothing bad.
Just a dry ass 4 people video.
I didn't say nothing bad. It was just them, right?
Yes, real police, you know, you're real bully, you know. You're bully, you know.
I like to bully you.
And you come and bully the car.
Big body girl them, hot body girl them, cute body girl them. How the yanks they up with the
Eldorado Tours presents Everything Christmas Village. Rudolph will be on the show, dancing and singing. There's a gift in Santa's village for all ages of children. Come, let's play some jolly games and have fun. So much prizes to be won, yeah. Join us at Everything Christmas Village at the Merry Moms Mall Playground on November the 30th and December the 1st and continues every weekend until December the 22nd. This village will have games, prizes, booths, business displays. Santa's Village, Rudolph the Grinch, Olaf, and Elsa will be there too. Plus, you can win a trip to Curacao, Hartro Falls, and much more prizes. Remember, free entry with a purchase of a raffle ticket. Get your tickets at Precise Printed on South Road, Bunny's Meat Center on Church Street, and Merriman Small Playground. Sponsored by Eldorado Tours, Answer McCall, Sterling Products, Rubis, Star Party Rentals, Bunny Meat Center, and more.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December and you could win one Amazon tablet or smartwatch every day. And that's not all. 4 persons will win $1 million to spend in the store. Just imagine, $1 million to spend on clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage, and accessories. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend. So shop now to win one tablet or smartwatch every day and $1 million to spend in the store. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Welcome back. In the region, a military plane with 38 persons on board has disappeared en route to Antarctica, Chile's Air Force says. The C-130 Hercules transport aircraft took off from Punta Arenas at 4:55 p.m. local time, and operators lost contact at 6:15 p.m. Those missing included 17 crew and 21 passengers. They were traveling to provide logistical support to a military base on Antarctica's King George Island. A search and rescue mission is underway. And in St. Martin's, 2 nationals of the Dominican Republic who left Trinidad via Caribbean Airlines flight was arrested for traveling on fake documents. According to a report, the man and woman arrived at the Princess Juliana International Airport on Saturday using a fake Costa Rican and Guatemalan passport. The report says officials suspected the couple intended to travel to another destination even though they did not have tickets for another location. 24 hours earlier, another Dominican was arrested for attempting to leave the island for France on a fake Guatemalan passport. They were processed and are scheduled to be deported this week. And internationally, a South African court has ordered the eviction of hundreds of refugees and asylum seekers living in a church in Cape Town, but they are refusing to leave.
Reverend Alan Story's church has a full congregation of refugees. He invited them in, now he wants them to leave, and for a brief moment during Mass they do, stepping outside. But not Shema Nahiman, a Muslim refugee who stays to pray. She fled violence in Burundi thinking she would find peace in South Africa. Instead, she found hate.
No, South Africa is not safe.
I am so disappointed in South Africa. People burnt my shop to the ground because I am a foreigner. We are not safe here. We don't trust the state to protect us. We want to leave this country to find a better place to live. And we will stay here until a solution is found.
Shema is among hundreds of refugees occupying the church. They want asylum to another country. Some hope to get to Europe or North America. Others simply want to go home. Shema and her husband have a son, Yusuf, and a daughter, Aisha. Both were taken away by the city's child welfare agency. Although they were born in South Africa, like their parents, the children have no legal papers or status.
Without proper asylum papers, you can't open a bank account. You can't relicense a car. How do you get rental? Who's going to trust you? So it's what I call administrative xenophobia.
In October, refugees organized a peaceful demonstration to highlight the conditions they live in and the discrimination they face. They were met by police in riot gear. Children and adults were injured.
It's when the Reverend heard the sound of stun grenades and water cannons that he told women and children to use this door and enter this parish. They were later joined by men. They've been living here for months now. This is where they eat, sleep, and defecate, sharing only one toilet. Now, the church authorities say this is unsustainable. But people here say leaving the sanctuary of this church would be unsafe.
Papi Sukami is a civil engineer from Congo. He thought Cape Town would be a wealthy, diverse, and welcoming city. But he soon discovered a city divided between rich and poor, and between races, living in segregation in a shrinking economy.
The politician leaders, they are always saying foreigners are taking our jobs. They are saying to their people, foreigners are taking our house, our women. So they are blaming foreigners. They don't manage right the country. There is corruption. But every time, instead, they are blaming us foreigners. So we become like scapegoat.
The city wants the refugees to leave this church, and so does Reverend Story, but he will not allow the police to remove them by force. In his sermon, he has this message for the people of South Africa. We shout peace, we practice violence, he says. We shout justice, we walk in justice. We preach love, we practice hate. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera, Cape Town.
Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Headline News Update. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube, or you can visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com for more news. Until then, take care.